All right, guys, as they get ready to come out of turn number 4, it is Flag Day, and the Border Patrol, the sponsor for Kenny Wallace's car, handed out free flags to everybody tonight, and there are the fans, and they will be waving to wave also Rick Pitino, who will be our honorary starter at the flag stand. So the pace car pulls off. We get ready to go full throttle as it is about to go racing. Race number 16, Kentucky Speedway.
Green.
Already got a car off the pace way in the back. We're hearing word that the 28 is off the pace, so we'll wait and see if we can get word on Kenny Wallace. And we have caution coming out on the track at the end of lap number 1.
No power, nothing on, Pete.
So for Kenny Wallace, who's making his 399th career start tonight, it looks like
there's nothing.
The race is over.
Oh, I tell you what, I don't know if it's over yet. Marty says he's got no power. He might have accidentally hit the kill switch on the steering wheel. I don't know, Andy. Something like that could have gone wrong.
Anything could have happened. The ignition boxes could have went out, battery connections. There's a lot of things can make that car stop.
Well, the guys are going for the pins, and they'll find out if they can get the car refired and get him back out there. So we're under our first caution. Remember, we had 3 cautions in 16 laps last year. Then it settled down. You're looking in the engine compartment behind the wall, the 28, as Kenny Wallace and the crew try and diagnose this problem. Let's quickly bring in Tim Brewer at the Chevy Tech Center. Tim, what do you think might be the issue here?
Tell you what, it's one of two things. They've either got a mechanical fuel pump like on the front of the car, or they got a cable-driven fuel pump back here. Now, the cable-driven fuel pump is mounted on the rear firewall, and it's literally run by a cable that's run through the car. But we've seen this problem before. But, you know, the guys over at Waterman Fuel Pumps, they worked on these things pretty religiously, and they thought they eliminated all the problems. But if there's a cable problem, what it is, it's a meshing deal where it's not running the gears properly, so it's not putting any fuel to the engine. Marty?
All right, thanks, Tim. We'll keep our eye on that and see what the team can do to get back out. All you have to do is check on keyword auto check. You can hear the engine firing, maybe.
It's trying to get fuel. It just won't fire up, you know, and you hate it for the Border Patrol. They bought all these American flags for these fans, over 70,000 American flags. People are waving them right now. Really supporting this sport, these guys are.
All right, so let's get ready to go back to green flag racing. Kyle Busch, remember he started at the back of the field. He has already picked up 10 positions. He is up to 25th place, and that was in 1 green flag lap. Here we go again, 70,000 plus on their feet. Their American flags waving, and we're back to green flag racing here at Kentucky.
Guys, it looks like they're getting through turn 1 and 2 okay. I was a little concerned about that because the track's been sitting for a while. Not a lot of cars running on it for 4 or 5 hours, but so far, so good. The next thing I want to see is the second lane is going to come in and how fast that's going to happen.
Well, one thing that's happened is the racetrack has cooled down a lot in that time you're talking about since they've been on it. So it's got a lot more grip in it. So these cars are just, you know, they're probably feeling really good to these drivers. And if that groove will move out, you'll see some tremendous racing. Right here, you got Kyle Busch making a move.
And there you see he's at 25th position. Remember, he has had absolutely 0 laps in this race car before the green flag fell.
Marty, one thing he's got going for him, his teammate Joey Logano in the 20 car has had a lot of practice here this morning, and so they can probably talk to each other about the setup, but look at how fast he's flying through the field.
He's passing Carl Edwards like Carl's a rookie.
Well, we saw Carl Edwards dive in there and try that second lane, but it wasn't quite ready. Shannon?
Yeah, I spoke to Kyle Busch. I asked him how he's stays focused and moves his way up through the field from starting in the back position. He said, I just passed one car at a time. You know, 2004, he had to go to the back of the field, and he worked his way back up and won the race, guys. So he certainly can do it here tonight.
Started 43rd in 04, and as you said, he did win the event. And right now he's looking at Chase Miller and gives Chase a little nudge. Says, son, I'm coming through.
Okay, there's 1, 2, 3 cars a lap. He's just passing that corner. I thought he said one per lap.
No, he said one at a time.
Andy's got a lot of momentum. I mean, you just can't slow that car down. Once you start passing them, you don't get out of the gas pedal and touch a brake. You take advantage of that momentum, and that's what Kyle's doing right now. He's just flying through this thing.
All right, let's move up a little bit further. That is Scott Wimmer going around, our in-race reporter, and last week winner Brad Keselowski. And that is a battle for 10th. Give it to Wimmer.
Scott Wimmer's team, they're trying some different things with the front end geometry, Rusty. They were talking about doing some things different than their teammate Clint Boyer and some of the other Childress guys, trying to learn something because they've been struggling just a little bit on those 1.5 mile tracks, and they need a new package. So they're trying something different tonight.
Yeah, I was talking to those guys a little bit like you were, and they said they don't know what it is. They got to do something, so I'm glad that they're trying something like that. And Wimmer's had some practice here this morning, and Boyer really has not. So they're really relying on Wimmer to pull this train changes out and see if it works.
That is Kelly Byers right in front of him in the Clorox Ford, and he is closing on him. And take a look a little bit further. There's the 5 of Landon Castle side by side with the 27 of Brad Coleman. That is for position as well. That's 7th, 8th, and 9th all sort of grouped together.
When you see Wimmer right behind these guys, he's still marching to the front.
Well, remember, Wimmer loves this place. I mean, he finished 3rd here last year.
You know, this is their type of racetrack. The Richard Childress-led team, their nationwide cars. You remember, for so long, they're the first ones to get those front ends down and get those cars through the air, get them handling good. And they kind of lost their mojo just a little bit, but it looks like they're getting it back.
You know, when you're the first guys to learn something, you know, you have it for a little while, but then you've got a bullseye on your back. Everybody else is watching what you're doing. They're catching up, and sometimes they get ahead of you.
I tell you, the one car I've been watching that, talking about getting ahead of you, so watching Kyle Busch. Look at this guy's got ahead of everybody right now.
Busch, he's just gotten around David Ruderman, guys, and that puts him up to 16th position, and we're working lap 11. Well, this is incredible.
Talk about, you know, qualifying bad really hurting you. It hasn't hurt this cat right now. But, you know, going back a little bit, we were talking about the 29 car of Wimmer. I tell you, the 88 car of Brad Keselowski, they figured out how to get that front end down and put a lot of wedge in that body we talked about and make these cars handle better.
He has picked up 19 positions so far. Oh, no, and Chase Miller for the second time has hit the wall. Yes, in practice this morning, he tagged it with the primary. Now he's done it with the backup. It's been an expensive day.
That's the last thing you want to do is tear up that backup car this early.
So our second caution on lap 13. And you can see hard contact to the rear. Let's take a look.
Just racing by Stephen Wallace. It's in the corner. And we've seen this be a tricky corner right here.
Oh, it's a classic case. You're just getting aerodynamically loose on the inside of a car. You get so compacted against a car, guys, the air doesn't get to the rear spoiler. A driver loses it. And that's what you got to watch at a track like this going into turn 1 and into turn 3.
All right, as we get ready to go to break, right on board with Stephen Wallace. Joey Logano is still leading. Remember, he led the first 60 laps last week. Oh, that's not a pretty sight. Stay with us.